Hi there everybody, my name is Ali and today I will be going to solve another web security challenge from Intigriti CTF 2024 and that is BioCorp. So that being said, let's jump in. Now coming to the challenge over here, BioCorp, we can see its description. It says BioCorp contacted us with some concerns about the security of their network, especially they want to make sure they have decoupled any dangerous functionality from the public facing website. Could you give it a quick review? And we do have the link of the website and we do have the zip file as well. And the zip file normally contains the source code. So right over here, let's look at the website first of all, and then I will move over to the source code. So looking at the site, there is home button and home button is going to index.php, about us button, contact button, and services. So first thing first, which I normally looked at was the contact button, because I always try to see that is there any like blind access sort of thing over here. But normally the thing which was in my mind, that if there is blind access, then there should be a login page or some sort of a like admin, we can get some admin cookie and try to log in as admin, but there was no admin panel or login page or those sort of things right over here. So after looking at all of these things, I went over to the source code. I downloaded a zip file, and this is how the source code looks like. This is the fake flag right here for testing locally, and we do have about.php. It was not having anything. Then here is contact.php. It is not having anything interesting. Footer is not having interesting. Header also not interesting. Index is not having interesting. There is one more endpoint, which is panel.php. Again, if you are doing a black box pen testing, then you can try to go for directory brute forcing, but we do found out from the source code that there is panel.php and it says access denied, so we cannot access this right now. Let's see the source code. So right at the top in php, it says that if the server has a header set, okay, there is a header going on over here, and the IP address of that header should be this one. If this is not set, then give access denied. Okay, so there is a condition here that we need to have a header with the IP set to this one. If we don't do that, we will have access denied, which in this case we are having right now. So I think so let's try to do this part first of all and see what happens. Then I will move to the line number 10 code. So let's see how to do that one. If I copy this header right over here, we can use a match and replace feature of burp suite right over here. So these all are the requests which are going in the backend. So if I go to match and replace, and then if I click on add, and I need to add a header, I don't want to replace anything right now. So if you just want to add a header, you just paste that header and its value over here. So if I just do colon, and its value should be this IP. So copy and paste. Now let's click on OK and let's try to see if we get anything interesting. Access denied. So I think so there is something wrong with this one. Yeah, one thing which is wrong is, I think so there are no underscores, there are dash sign. So let's remove all underscores and then do dash, and let's click on OK and refresh the page. Nothing happens. I think so in the header we need to remove the HTTP thing as well, might work in that way. So if I remove this HTTP and let's keep this header as it is, click on OK. Yeah, now let's come back, refresh the page, and there you go, we do have access to the panel.php. So what it is doing is, now burp suite is actually adding a header with the IP set, and now I can easily use panel.php. So now right over here we do have a reactor values, and let's see the request over here. Okay, nothing really interesting, so let's move on to our source code analysis. So from line number 10, it says if server request method is post and content type is XML. So whenever I see content type XML, I always look for XXE tag. Then there is some sort of parsing going on, in which if we pass it down some XML, we do wrong XML, it says invalid XML, and then so on. So initially looking over here, I can see there are three elements: temperature, pressure, and control rods, which I will not use much more, but that's what I can see, that there can be XXE sort of an attack right over here. Let's move on and let's try to fulfill the criteria of the code. So first of all, should be a post request. So I just have a post request over here. How I did was I have set a hotkey over here. So if I just go to my settings, and I think so in user interface hotkey, so change request method, I have a hotkey of control shift space, and it changes my request method to post. Otherwise you can do it somewhere right here, I think so. Change request method, this one. So I just used my hotkey. So now if I hit send, it says access denied. I think so I need to add that header over here as well. So if I go to match and replace, and if I copy this header value and go to repeater, paste that header, send, and now I do have the page, but nothing really interesting. So I need to change this to XML as well. So if I do XML, and I do got an error var www.html and DOM document error sort of thing. So now, since XXE, I will go to Portswigger and try just random basic payload for testing. I normally go to Portswigger, Hectrix, or Payload All the Things. I do have my own website for my notes as well, but normally I mostly go over there. So right over here, this is the very basic sort of stuff right over here, where I will simply copy this one, which is just trying to get out etc password file. So if I copy this payload, come over here, and it is not in proper XML format. If I hit send, let's see what it shows. Okay, it does now in format. Otherwise I was gonna right click and I want to use an extension content type converter and convert to XML. This sometimes works as well. So send, it changed my payload, but I just do control Z, and now I cannot see anything interesting. So right over here, this is a very basic XXE payload, which is using an external entity to actually call out a file from the system, which is etc password, and then we are referencing that over here in XXE. But again, I saw that there were three attributes, I think so, in the code: temperature, pressure, and control rod. So if I try to change one, let's say product ID to temperature, let's see what happens. Out, so product ID to temperature, send, scroll down. So there you go. You can see I am having the etc password in the temperature entity. So now if I try to simply go over to the flag, let's see if I can get out the flag over here, and here is the flag. So this was one of the way which I normally solve this one. There can be a lot of methods out, because let's say this is a very basic one, so we can also try to use PHP wrappers out over here as well. So let's see if I can find out anyone. Otherwise, yeah, so let me show you my own website, which is notes.programmersecurity.com, and over here I do have my own notes as well. In the section of XXE, I might have some payloads. Let's see. Otherwise, we do have the flag, so we have normally. So let's copy this payload, which is a PHP filter right over here, and if I paste it over here and send, I need to actually go to, or let's try to copy another one. So yeah, let's try this one. Let's see if this works here or no. So paste. Now if I hit send, let's see what happens. Nothing, because I need to add somewhere right over here in the form. In email I will do temperature, copy, paste, send, and let's see if this works over here. And it does work over here as well, but this is again not a this is again a basic one. So let's try to go for the PHP filter wrapper. So paste, and I don't know why it is like this. Let me try to change it to XML. Yeah, now it works, but it changes my payload. So let me move down much more on my side. Okay, over here we do have a blind XSS as well. So the PHP filter, I don't know how it can help us, but okay, let's try a case scenario of blind XXE. This might work here as well. So right over here, let's say if this was a hard CTF challenge, so we can also try to go for a blind XXE by utilizing this technique. And over here I just need to add my IP. So I do have my own server running right now, my VPS. So 192.168.31.13 is my, and what we will going to do is we will going to call out xxe.dtd, which is document type definition file. And in this document type definition I will add these two lines. So these two lines are gonna get etc password right from here, and then it will hit back my server on port 8000, and then it will read that file for me out. So a quite complicated payload, but let's see if this works over here or no. So if I come back to my, let's say I start my own server, let's see what happens out. So I will log in now and I will start my Python server, and I do have all of this xxe.dtd and all of that stuff over here. So if I hit send, let's see blind xxe works, and yes, you can see blind xxe is working, and I do got a response over here as well. So if I highlight this one, so it is in base 64. So there you go, you can see I do have etc password file as well. So in the same case scenario, what I need to do is on my server I just need to change this line from etc password to slash flag, and we will retrieve the flag. So that was all about this challenge, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, bye.